Суровые годы уходят, борьбы за свободу страны, за ними другие приходят, они будут тоже трудны.
Alright, folks, I promised to tell you about my experience in the election to the Federal Assembly. And it's nothing like the age-old classic by Mark Twain. This experience has its own backstory. For a few years, I regularly received fan comments. Why won't you enter the political scene? You express the opinions of millions of people. You're so well positioned to do this properly. Naturally, we were not interested in doing this. We, as in myself and my colleagues with whom I regularly go on air. Once around the year 2018, when I was on air at a radio show, the renowned politologist Sergei Mukhin said, "Sooner or later, you will have to enter politics and you will be in the opposition, because no power can survive long without sensible, intelligent, constructive opposition." Eventually, during the height of COVID isolation last year, I got fed up with these comments, and I finally gave in. I said, "Alright, I'm ready to try politics. If any party would like to invite me, I'm open." And the invitation didn't take long to come. It was around February this year, on air at the Solovyov Live show, when Simeon Bagdasanov said that he's not even asking, he's demanding that I enter the election with Zakhar Prilepin's party for truth. Later we were at some event, I can't even remember which. There were Nikolai Starikov, Zakhar Prilepin, Alexander Kozakov and I. They said, "Yes, we want you in the party, you want a single mandate district, we'll find you one." Then the party unification started, the paperwork was being done, the leaders did their thing, and I didn't dabble into all that. Finally, I got a phone call. They said, "The meetings are beginning soon, let's have a solid talk." First meeting, they said they are glad to see me as I'm glad to see vintage Japanese vinyls or a good book. But I have very little chance to actually win a district, and I will have very little resources, but you're welcome to try. I took some time to think, spoke to my friends and family, and they said, "Listen, you gotta try. You promised the people, duty calls, comrade." I agreed. First I was assigned one district, then it was changed to another, and I began to slowly enter the race. I say slowly because there already were participants who were there for a while. Starting as early as February, they knew that they would be assigned these districts. They already had party resources, not only people, but finances as well. And without the finance, you won't get anywhere, period. In my case, I had clarity in late June. You can see the problem here. What a head start everyone had. Even if we start counting from the end of February, it means March, April, May, and half June, 3.5 months. This is a massive handicap that is very difficult to overcome. Nevertheless, we worked with what we had, myself and a small moral support group. We started with serious enthusiasm. First, we looked at other candidates for the district from United Russia. The candidate was also a member of House of Commons, which meant we could stop right there, pack our things and go away.
По сути дела, здесь можно было ставить точку.
Svetlana Razvorotneva was not the mayor's aide yet, but it was clear that United Russia would provide any assistance the candidate would possibly require, especially in Moscow.
Для меня это было понятно. То есть шанс уже здесь...
This much was clear to me, and my chances were obviously close to zero. Then we found out that Communist Party candidate was Anastasia Udaltsova.
Удальцова. Анастасия.
And it was clear to me this was one ready to represent Navalny's SS.
Почему?
With all provided electoral diversity for this district, the rest of the candidates were seriously lacking any prominence.
Представляли интересы.
It was clear the main struggle would be between United Russia and Navalny's SS.
Что очевидно.
If anyone does not understand, Navalny didn't need a representative, he was just betting on the most viable opposition candidate regardless of the party.
Да, если просто кто-то не понимает. Удальцова
This wasn't Udaltsova's first campaign. She has prior experience running for the city assembly. She knew the difficulties, her team worked out some kinks, and the party, of course, provided considerable support. She was pulled into the final Communist Party conference and a press conference at the state news agency. I had nothing of that,
подобного не было.
naturally and understandably.
Причинам.
First of all, I'm not one of the core members for Just Russia.
К так называемому...
Moreover, I'm directly opposing them.
Что он находится еще в оппозиции к нему.
And second, the party naturally would give more support to the candidates who are more representative of the party agenda, which is not me.
Более близки.
Of course, I had some serious popularity numbers. My work in media, talk shows, being a public figure, all that.
Цифра была достаточно высокая. Это вот многочисленные эфиры и та общественная деятельность. И стояла
The challenge was to capitalize on this
задача
and convert it into votes.
вот эту узнаваемость в электоральный результат. И это
This proved to be impossible. This is because there's the clear top pick, United Russia, it's clear why. Also a candidate for Navalny's SS. From that point of view, I ended up not even an underdog.
даже не андердог.
The first sociology polls didn't even finish yet, and I was already being attacked from all directions.
Меня стали долбить.
Navalny's supporters attacked me for obvious reasons. I'm one of their most hated people in entire Russia because I've been reviewing their progress of everything that's been happening around these Les Miserables for a long time on air everywhere. Of course, they hated Solovyov's live, most of all, along with NTV investigations. Naturally, Venediktov joined this action also for obvious reasons, and of course the entire Echo of Moscow radio station, because this was exactly the time when our famous history book for schools was published, and it caused absolutely colossal butthurt for some people. Khodorkovsky also attacked me. His eagle eyes spied the obvious truth that I'm secretly representing the interests of United Russia, and so he decided it was a great idea to blast me by any means he can. And for the last course, various super radical throw-ups. A full course meal of everything you don't want. The significant starting handicap was not enough, raining all this shit on me was also necessary, but all this didn't really bother me all that much. What bothered me was the lack of financial resources, because without money, you're no one in this race. The party gave me 130,000. This is a serious sum for a normal person. On the other hand, though, just so you understand what it really means, it's the cost of setting up 15 small billboard stands. That's it. As soon as they were set up, they were immediately vandalized by the collective efforts of Navalny's puppets and other throw-ups, so I had to print more, and that had to be taken from the election fund. How the fund was formed. An election account was set up according to all the relevant legislature and was published immediately. My sincerest thanks to the people who started contributing. Overall, we collected 997,000. For perspective, the election fund for the winner in this district, Svetlana Razvorotneva from United Russia, was 40 million. You understand the difference, right? It's useless to compete against that. Many people, after the elections passed, wrote to me, "What's going on? We found out that you were running when we came to the poll station on the voting day. Why wasn't there any marketing, not even flyers?" That's why. Because when we had enough money to print it, it was already too late to go looking for a print shop or even volunteers. Everything finished. We arranged something with a firm that somehow managed to print and distribute them in some areas. Naturally, we couldn't cover the entire district in the remaining time. Only 250,000 flyers were distributed overall. That's to compare with the overall number of voters, 780,000 or something like that. So one difficulty was compounded by another. Along with that was a gigantic problem with the party itself. First of all, the bullshit that the representative of Just Russia were spewing out every time they were on air. I was just watching my rating plummet in real time. Because those assholes were talking such wild nonsense that I even had people approach me in the street saying, "Armen, we really love you and value you, but we're sorry we can't vote for you because your party is deranged. We are going to vote for United Russia." I was completely disillusioned by August 25th, 26th, and as soon as the debate started, when the period of election marketing started in mass media, everything became clear. When I saw my promotional video that the party Just Russia shot for me, please, my friends, excuse me for swearing, but with the entire greatness of Russian language behind my back, I can't find other words. It was complete clusterfuck. That's right, giant glowing neon ye old clusterfuck in the most decorated Gothic Victorian font. I kid you not, you could ask a third grader to make an election marketing video, I think it would be better. It was not a video, it was complete catastrophe. The second video ended up an old tale. It was made, it was quality stuff, it was well cut, it was actually me in the picture, it was good quality stuff. But these incredible people, I don't know if it was accidental or they did it on purpose, they wanted to undermine me, the renegade, but they managed to mess up the credentials provided with the video, so it was not released in mass media. Because you can't legally release an election campaign video with inappropriate credentials. You understand what that means, yes? And they were constantly blowing my mind with absolute bullshit. And all of this together, I think the proper term is reduced my electoral perspective. As a result, I got what I got. Absolute and undisputable loss. My friends and family are immeasurably depressed about this. They didn't expect this. They were ready for a more serious achievement. If you look at it from a professional point of view, it would look very different, of course. Because, see this. We're going to break it down professionally. There was no time to wind up at all. There were no people, no volunteers, no aides, no headquarters, no organization whatsoever. There was absolute minimum marketing, most no advertisements. It's not allowed to use pre-existing materials, anything fan-made, only official, made for the campaign itself. That material was monstrous entirely, and then some, a completely unfamiliar district, minimal resources, and I got an entire 8%. This is outstanding. As far as political science goes, this is a very serious result. First time election as well. But you understand, even if I can somehow disengage myself and look at this as a media professional, my friends and family are really not enjoying it. They don't care about the graphs and statistic summaries, and they have the right to do that. What can you do? They wanted more. My conclusions. This is the main point of the story. What to do going further? Everything's pretty simple. First, do not lose heart. This was a massive experience. It needs to be processed and used when appropriate. Would I participate in a political election again? Only if there will be serious offers, I repeat, serious, supported by solid resources from the get-go, people and finances. Without it, it's useless, and I'm not going into that bold cavalry charge again. Because this is a month and a half of absolutely monstrous exertion, moral exertion most of all. Even now, a week after the election passed, I'm still not entirely myself. Third, I'll be blunt. This past election showed that the country only has one political party. Only United Russia. All others, they're not political parties. They're anything but. They're interest clubs, fund-splitting schemes, and so on and so forth. Fourth, why people who had statewide recognition, popularity, lose so massively and consistently. Mikheyev, Starikov, Danuk, myself. That's why. That's how. Possibly everyone had their own reasons, but I suspect they were very alike to my own experience. Fifth, do I think there was meddling? No, I don't think so. I did not see it. The victory by United Russia was entirely appropriate. I commend United Russia with the result. I was there, on the spot. And I saw things with my own eyes. People write to me, come on, no one would ever vote for United Russia. It's completely fixed. Listen, friends, I had 60 or more public appearances. I spoke with the people. I saw people who openly told me they saw the debates, they listened to all those clowns, and they will go and vote for United Russia. Don't try your hogwash on me, please. I was there on the spot to witness all of it. And because I participated in the election from the other side, not as a voter, yes, I believe my own eyes much more than the renowned couch experts on the internet. And sixth, enormous, sincerest thanks to those people who supported me, those who sent donations. You are the best. I love you all with all my heart, and I sincerely thank you for your kind words. I'm sorry I didn't make it, but I honestly did my best for you, and I told you all that's happened. I think I was sufficiently clear and succinct, because if I were to go into the nitty-gritty of it all, it would take maybe half a dozen hours. No sane person will take a rant like that. That's it, friends. I'll see you soon again. Take care of yourself in these complicated and difficult times. Bye.